Thank you for tuning in to Cop with Critic. I'm Brian Koppen. We're with critic Jason LeValley. Jason LeValley, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Oh, good. Well, you're a big time critic. I know you're. There's a couple places where I thought Screen Rants was one of them, and there was a Phoenix New Times. Is that where everybody can find your writings?
Yeah, Phoenix New Times, and then my own publication, Psychedelic Scene.
Oh, okay. Are you also? Wasn't there? Is there a Screen Rant where you're also doing reviews?
Yeah, Screen Rant. They're like a major corporation based out of Montreal. That
Okay.
yeah, they. I was a music editor for them for a while, and during that time, I produced a ton of articles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
And are they all music, or kind of what's the range of your reviews or your writing?
they are all music related somehow. I mean, one thing I had to do was write something about uh, the K-pop Demon Hunters movie soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I must think that just
a lot of people like that.
won a Grammy or something, didn't it? It's just so popular.
Yeah, it's just insanely popular, and I started to watch it just because I felt like I should, but I just couldn't do it. But I have some friends, all female, that really enjoy it.
And are
No, I
they
have one male friend that was raving about it.
and are they all is it anime? Is it animated or anime or what is it?
Yeah, it's I guess it's considered anime.
Okay. Well, there you go. Pop anime. Now we're going to be doing we're on music today, which is great. We're doing the Hall of Fame face off, which means each of us had to select five artists from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and at least one song from each. And so it turns out we each selected one from each. And so there's a total of five. And because there's less songs, we might be able to get to them all. But I'm going to go first, which will give you the opportunity to trump my ace. You know, if I have a super strong song, you can offer up a sacrificial lamb or vice versa, because then you'll go in the next round. You'll say your song first and the second set of them. And so I'll do the same thing. So if your song is really great, I'm just going to offer up one of my lesser songs, and there shouldn't be too many because these are all Hall of Fame. And so the first one, got to be careful and strategic. The first one will be, let's do John Lennon's Jealous Guy. What do you think of that song?
I love that song. I mean, it's a beautiful song. It's it's based on real life. This is one of those apology songs that came after John cheated on Yoko
Oh,
at a party in the early 70s.
okay.
So in that context, it's not as lovely, but it is, it stands on its own as a beautiful song, and it always invokes deep emotions in me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a simple song. It's pretty effective. I think for me, it's probably the only, I mean, this is going to be provocative, but I think it's the only John Lennon solo song I can really get into. And of course, him with the Beatles is amazing, and maybe I haven't listened to him enough. But are you a big John Lennon fan or no?
Yes, I'm a huge John Lennon fan, and I'll be the first to admit that some of his solo material was pretty weak. Without the rest of the band there to keep him in check, he was doing stuff like, well, I mean, he wrote the song "Woman Is the Near of the World," which is horribly named and I think misguided. I mean, obviously, he
Yeah.
didn't mean it as any kind of a racial slant, but it just, I don't know, it just never really sat well with me.
And do you think he belongs in the Hall of Fame or no? Because I do not.
You don't? Oh, okay.
As a solo person, no.
As a solo, well, uh, yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, and I can see it, but yeah, I do think he does because he was just so instrumental, with the Beatles, and he carried so much charisma with him
Yeah.
as an artist. He was so important as a solo artist. Everybody wanted to work with him. David Bowie did, Frank Zappa did. Um, and he did create some great songs like Imagine.
Yeah.
That's a timeless classic. And then like that album that he had just finished right when he died had some great tunes on it too, like Woman, Just Like Starting Over, Beautiful Boy.
I'm
Um,
gonna have to check those out. Yeah, like luckily I think a different critic suggested a song from John Lennon, and so these are good ways for me to kind of get into John Lennon more. But that brings it to you, which is your song facing off against John Lennon. Good luck.
okay, let's see. You know what? I just realized that I only have four songs on my list, but I thought I sent you five.
Yeah,
Um,
I see five.
it's Paul McCartney, right?
Well,
Paul
yeah, Paul
McCartney.
McCartney's on there, sure.
Okay, then let's just do a Lennon McCartney thing.
No,
Okay.
yeah, nice. So
Um,
tell me about Hi 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 because I listened to it and it seems like it's a drug song. Is it?
yeah, it is. It's written like hello, 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 but uh, it's clearly about getting stoned and having sex.
Ah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to listen again. And like, did kind of not to be too personal about it, but have you tried it out? I mean, Paul is suggesting that the listener try it out because it's great. Have you, drugs and or sex? Did this kind of figure into your experience with this song when it first came out?
uh, yeah, I'm a pretty adventurous guy, and it's not it's not too over the top. I don't think to get a little high and get it on.
Yeah, the lead guitar is good though. Who's playing that? Do you know?
Yeah, I think that was Jimmy McCulloch,
Okay.
who was a youngster. He was 16 years old, I think, when he was in the band Thunderclap Newman. Uh, and then, just like 22 or something when he joined Wings. And
Oh,
anyway, he
the
died.
guitarist for Paul was also the guitarist for Wings.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
technically it was Wings who did that song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Paul McCartney and Wings.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Aren't they in there too? Like, isn't Paul in there three times? Are Wings in Hall of Fame? Excuse
Uh, I would think so. I mean, they had a ton of hits. I'd be surprised if they weren't.
me. Okay.
But yeah, that's my mistake. I should have said Paul McCartney and Wings.
No, I think I found it there too. So I think they must be listed twice. And so you can either talk more about the song or also name your next one. And I think as far as the, who gets it, I don't think either of them should be in the Hall of Fame individually, really. But of course, the Beatles are amazing, and it's nice that I like the high song and I like the guitar to it. It's standard blues chords.
Wait a second.
Um,
You don't think Paul McCartney should be in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, first of all, you just said that the song that you picked is for both, and so were both of them getting credit, and that got them into the Hall of Fame. Like Wings and Paul can both claim credit to that song, getting them into the Hall of Fame. It's just like I don't know. He's in
Well,
he's in there for the Beatles. He's amazing with the Beatles, but just
yeah,
how many
well,
songs of Paul's do you love compared to how many of John's?
well, it's not a fair question because Paul has lived for, you know, what, 4.5 decades longer.
Yeah. And is there later songs that you can recommend of Paul so that I can fall in love with Paul too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think he got a little soft in the 80s, maybe, but a lot of classic rock stars got a little soft and just kind of sold out. That seemed to be the time to do it. Um,
But I don't even know that like later songs will count because didn't he get in there pretty early? Like I'd have to check like the year of induction.
no, he got in there surprisingly late, like not until I'm just going to say 1999. I don't know if that's accurate, but I
Okay.
remember his daughter Stella wearing a shirt at the ceremony that said, "It's about fucking time."
Ah. But then that also means that you have to lop off the last 20 years. Like, if he got in there in 99 based on the body of work before then, it's just like, every song that you love, better have come before then for it to count. And it's just like, I think I probably can listen more to it and like more songs because I'm a voracious listener and I like a lot of stuff. Um, but it's just like, should he be there in there three times? I don't know. All right, so what's your next song?
Okay. Well, let's see. David Bowie, Rock and Roll Suicide.
Yeah, tell me about this one. It's kind of I really do like the loungy beginning to it. I like a lot of weird, I like David Bowie in all his modes. But that's one mode that's particularly interesting. But then it turns into a song. Is it an anti-suicide song? Or is it just like you're not alone?
Right. Well, I was just listening to it last night with intent. I'd always thought of it as like this song where he's trying to console someone and talk them out of suicide. And I thought it was a fan that he was talking to, like hypothetically, but I now think that he was talking about his half brother.
Oh,
There was a reference in the song. I can't remember exactly what it was, but David Bowie had a half brother who was like 10 years older that introduced him to a lot of great music.
oh, cool.
And he uh, had some serious mental health issues and was institutionalized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he eventually did commit suicide. His
Oh
name
my.
is Terry. Um, yeah, and he turns up in a lot of Bowie songs, and I don't know why I didn't really make that connection with this song earlier, but I do think that maybe this song was a, meant to be sung to his brother or his half brother.
Well, I love that, and especially the fact that he figures in more than one song. That's super cool because a lot of times, you're raised with somebody who's really into music. Like for example, my dad is just a music nut, and so he probably also flip out if he heard that. I don't think Paul or John belong in their solo. Um, but there is always that one if you're a huge music fan, chances are there was somebody in your life who was also a music fan and maybe you rated their record collection.
Yeah, yeah. For me, that was okay. I have two influences. One, my dad, major jazz aficionado,
Oh, cool.
jazz snob to the nth degree. Um, and I found some stuff in his collection that I liked, but most of it just sounded like his music.
Yeah. So you
Um,
went the other way.
so yeah, when I was a kid, and I'd hear something by something I liked, whether it was by the Bee Gees or Barry Manilow or something, he'd immediately knock it
Ah,
and tell me how much it sucked. And so I just kind of built up a lot of resentment towards jazz. Uh,
that's
and
hilarious. The resentment against the whole genre just because your dad would talk shit about your music. That's great. It's like
Yeah,
resentment by proxy or something. Okay, well, we'll be able to talk about it more while when I'm named the other song, which is Journey's Separate Ways. It's kind of a sacrificial lamb because the David Bowie story is just too good. What do you think about Journey's Separate Ways?
I think it's cheesy
What? For its
I-
time? I
for
think
its
I think I
time.
think I mean I think it holds up. It's just intense. Are you saying what about it is cheesy to you? Is it the instrumentation? And if so, do you hate all 80s hair bands if that's what they are?
No, and I wouldn't call them a hair band because hair bands were metal or pop metal.
Yeah.
Um, no, Journey, since the beginning of the 80s, they went super commercial.
Yeah.
And in fact, I heard stories consistently that they used to test market their courses before they'd release a single. So they'd have like a test audience, and they play that audience, not the band, but the test marketers would play, a chorus and have the test audience listen to it, then rate how much they liked it, and then play another version of the chorus and another version.
They're pushing
And
the
then,
dials. It's like a focus group where, oh, I like this part of the song, so they're pushing a button or something. Are you thinking that? Are you saying that before Journey wasn't as commercial?
that's right. They didn't start out commercial at all.
Okay, were they were they
Um,
were they hard and kind of purist in that sense? They weren't pop.
they weren't pop.
Okay.
No, they were. I've never been a big Journey fan, but they started out as a more legitimate music centered band, before they just completely sold out. And also,
You were there
have you
shaking
ever?
you were there shaking
Huh?
your head. You didn't like the development. You hated Journey being pop.
Uh, they just rubbed me the wrong way. And also, I don't know if you've seen that video, but if you watch the video, you can't deny how cheesy they are.
Are they all leaping around in spandex?
Yeah, they're in spandex, and they're like, I don't know. I can just I haven't watched the video in eons, but I can remember Steve Perry just kind of like his fists are in balls, and
Oh, sure. Yeah, I
he's
remember
like
that.
shaking, and he's
Yes. I mean,
yeah.
I think he's naturally cheesy just because of those movements. Well, let me name let me name one last one, and if you want to, since we're running out of time, you can discuss your next three in response. But the one
Okay.
I'll choose is Nina Simone, Mississippi Goddam Live at Carnegie Hall. Were you able to listen? What do you think?
Yeah, I listened to it and I thought it was really cool. I listened to a lot of black artists, but I haven't sat down and listened to an album of hers ever, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I wasn't familiar with the song. But she has a very strong voice, and I think she really sung a lot about the rights of her people, which is perfect because this is Black History Month,
Oh, is it?
February
Well,
every
that's
year.
awesome. Well, that's why I picked it, of course. But yeah,
Yeah,
like the reason why I like it, I do like that she talks during it. She's like, at the beginning, she says, "This is a show tune, but the show hasn't been written yet." And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of funny, but what do you mean?" And then you turn it. This song is just pretty epic and it's ebbs and flows, and so I like it a lot. Now, do you want to name your next three songs and talk about them briefly?
okay. Yeah, I'm going to give you this one and sacrifice one of mine.
Okay.
I chose Foreigner Head Games, and I'm not even sure why I picked it. It just popped into my head. I love early Foreigner. I even interviewed Lou Gramm, the lead singer, once.
Really? No, because this is not a sacrificial lamb. I love that song. And the reason
Oh, you
why
do?
is it's either in a Karate Kid movie or should be, or in the offshoots, the spin-off series, Cobra Kai. Like I can
Yeah,
like
I
if
could totally see
yeah.
it being in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and it's almost like two different songs that somehow fit together. Like there's really two distinct parts.
Yeah. Well, I do like the song. It's just a typical kind of relationship song. So it's a good song. And Foreigner, after the album that song was on, got kind of cheesy. They
Okay.
went commercial too.
How did they get in? I mean, was their catalog that I mean, how many hits did they have, or do you think they were influential? I mean, I like Cold as Ice. Like we were writing songs, me and my buddy, and he plunked out just a couple notes, and we both were like, "She's as cold as ice." Like that's just iconic. But just how do you think they should be in there? Why or why not?
I do. Yeah, I mean, I think that they damaged their reputation when they went commercial, but they did have so many hit songs, so many great rock songs. A lot of artists in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame aren't even doing rock, but these guys had a ton of hit songs that were rock.
Oh, good. So they actually belong in the
Jukebox
Rock Hall. Yeah.
Hero, Urgent, Hot Blooded,
What was the first one you said?
uh, Jukebox Hero.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Hot Blooded. I remember that one. So it's cool that they're actually rock and in the Rock Hall, whereas they're being inducted alongside, Jay-Z or something who's great, but it's not really rock. Like some people were like, "You're doing the Rock Hall. Does it have to be a rock song?" It's like, no, it's pretty much a pop music Hall of Fame or whatever. And I'm a big
Exactly.
pop fan, and so that's why I like things like Separate Ways, just because I'm into the popular stuff. But yeah, which of your other two songs did you want to talk about real quick, or both?
Okay, well, let's talk about the Zombies, Time of the Season.
Yeah, that's perfect, right? That's not the
It's such a
zombies.
cool song.
Like I picked a zombie song, but then when I heard your zombie song, I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and the song and the album that it's on, Odyssey and Oracle, bombed at first.
Oh.
It bombed so badly that the band broke up. And then
No, that's a bomb. That's a bomb.
like a year later, some DJ in Missouri or something started playing that song and
Okay.
it caught on and it became a hit retroactively. But by that time, the members of the Zombies had already moved on and started
No,
doing their own thing.
they don't even come. Do they come together? Did they ever come together for a reunion at all for the money?
Well, yes, they did, but
Okay.
not for quite a while. They're
Uh,
they're together now, and they actually came out with an album in the last few years.
okay.
Um,
But now everybody loves their catalog enough to maybe go see it. So it's good they're making some dough on that. But what about your final song?
all right. Well, Blondie, Hanging
Yeah.
on the Telephone.
Yeah.
It's just a great classic rock song. I've always loved Blondie, and the album that song is on, Parallel Lines, is great from start to finish.
Yeah. What else was on there? Putting you on the
Well, let's
spot.
see. Heart of Glass, which I think is overplayed. Like I can't really
Yes.
listen to it anymore.
Yes. It's like this is our
One,
one disco or new wave song. It's like we're gonna play this to the exclusion of all others that are possibly better.
right? Yeah, One Way or Another
Ooh,
is another classic song that's on there.
that thing is unique. Did you see the Hep
Yeah,
Alien version on Gilmore Girls?
the the half alien
It's called
version.
it was called Hep Alien. Have you ever watched Gilmore Girls?
No,
They have
sorry.
surprisingly great music, so I'd check it out. But the one thing I don't like about hanging on the telephone, I mean, I do like it because it's short. I don't like the forced rhymes.
Hmm.
Like really, when you focus on like, oh my gosh, like some rhymes sound more natural than others, but it's like you could almost predict the rhyme that she's going to say next. And it's like, I mean, you have to fit it within the rhythm of the song and the amount of time you have. Like Anthony Kiedis just kind of like makes up lyrics like that, like what will fit here. But with this one, it's just like the heavy-handed rhymes were a little bit too much for me. But of course, it's a good song. It's a pop song, which is great. Out of those three songs, let me think. I mean, Zombies to me is the best time of the season, but Head Games is a nostalgic favorite. Um, I mean, you brought some good heat here, man. So thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you again?
Well, Phoenix New Times and Psychedelic Scene.
Now, psychedelic scene is that your Substack or is it a website?
Yeah, it's a website.
Is it
It's
psychedelicscene.com?
yeah, I started
Okay.
it nearly 5 years ago, and I've contributed a lot of articles about music as well as psychedelics.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I remember that. Sure, I remember that website. That's cool. And so that it's literally psychedelic scene, man. It's both music and psychedelics.
exactly.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Jason LeValley.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Brian.